没豆干，没豆干，哎，是自己晒的吗？哎，自然晒的，种的。我的这天真冷，你咋还不回家呀？哎，对，来晚的，早上几点来的？人家说晚了我没收拾了，我抢起来都来了，抢起来一来都来了，哎，抢起来该吃饭了。今年多大了呀？83嘞。83了呀你，吃饭也都来完了。平时你没有牙，你平时咋吃饭呀？熬烂一点，喝稀饭，干面条。天天都喝稀饭。又没炒过菜，不定啥时候能吃腊肉不炒的。你家里头你自己生活过？哎。爷爷不在了吗？啊？你儿子听不见？哎，聋，今年聋3年了。
The way you deal with a global pandemic is you become transparent and you share information, beginning with the actual virus. You share the virus because researchers around the world can start working on the basis of that and developing treatments and vaccines. They didn't do that. You also share best practices. You share infection numbers. You share statistics. And the reason why you do that is so that researchers, again, all over the world and other governments can take steps and measures to adjust to that. They didn't do that. The Communist Party of China is more interested in protecting their global image than they are in containing this. And that's really the fundamental challenge here. They've even intimidated the World Health Organization, which went over there and came out with this glowing review of the way they've responded to it. But now that they're out of the country, the World Health Organization, now that their experts have left, are criticizing China again, this time for not sharing numbers on how many of the healthcare workers have been infected. So it's really complicated, the response to it, both here in the U.S. and for other countries. And I think evidence of what we're dealing with when it comes to the Chinese Communist.
It's wonderful that we have a leader who is willing to take decisive action, to make hard calls. I've seen him many times make a hard call when everybody else said something else, and he's been right. He has very, very good judgment. And, you know, his care in this situation is about the American people, about protecting them, and not about political issues. And one of the things that I think is very interesting is that a consortium of drug companies have gotten together. They're normally, you know, competitors. They are working together to come up with cures and to come up with vaccines. Why is it that the political class can't recognize that this is something that should rise above that level and that we need to be concerned about the welfare of our nation?
Things out of Iran. We'll get to those in a second. What do you got for me? Because Iran, they're talking about...
Iran has so far officially 77 dead, 2,336. We got, you know, through one of our sources yesterday that it's actually much worse on the ground.
I think it's much worse.
Iran.
So here's also breaking news coming out of BBC is that they've just released 54,000 prisoners out of the prisons in Iran. This is my point about Iran and China. Don't believe anything they say on an official basis because it's all a lie. Right? All you got to do, and if you want to get your arms around a little bit how this plays out, I keep telling people, go see HBO's 5-part series Chernobyl, because there you see these totalitarian governments, their incompetence, but particularly their only thing they focus on is protecting the regime. Right. You're seeing this, and hey, Iran ain't releasing 54,000 prisoners out of the prisons to avoid, you know, this kind of mass incarceration with the disease spread if they know they don't have a much bigger problem they're letting on. It's just like China. These are, and those two totalitarian because of the ability to suppress the information, right, and not let people make their own decisions. That's why I think you're seeing Fauci, you're seeing Pence, you're seeing people come out and try to get more information out to people so people can make their own decisions. And like you said, President Trump said, nothing's inevitable here.
Well, listen, I mean, you and I are all China hawks, for example, but there is a moment now, a learning moment for the whole world, because you are now seeing the true nature of these tyrannical regimes. They do not care about their people. They care about self-preservation first. And because of that, because of the lack of transparency, the whole world was caught flat-footed, and now we see how it's playing out. But this is also going to be an opportunity for the great Western democracies to show the huge difference between how we handle things.
Yeah, this is why I said the other day, Maria Bartiromo, America is the indispensable nation. You saw yesterday around that table in the cabinet room where President Trump was having a pretty frank conversation with the biotech companies and the pharmaceutical companies about the vaccine. And look, we got to be realistic. As great as these companies are, as quick as they're coming up with potential vaccine alternatives, just the process to make sure that, hey, the vaccine yourself doesn't kill, doesn't make things worse, right? That you take it, that, you know, it's whatever it is. And in Trump time, they're trying to expedite that. But you could be looking at a year till you get a vaccine. You're going to have to do social separation. That's why the United States is the indispensable nation.